Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
There have been extremely dark developments on every front in the last 24 hours since we were last with you. 20 hours if you want to be technical. 4-hour radio show once a day, so we're here every 20 hours. Barack Obama has called for a 1 million-man youth brigade spy force. He said a Stasi youth brigade of teenagers. Now, if you think the corrupt police are bad now, folks, historically with Mao and Lenin and Hitler, and it goes back to Rome, they love to turn loose teenagers with badges and guns. And he is saying a military youth force. Hell Force is the proper name for it, and I don't mean that for a comic book term. I mean, this is hell on earth being turned loose. Now, remember, Bill Clinton proposed this. In my film, The Police State 2000, I talk about how he proposed youth brigades, and then under Bush, they started the Secure Corps, a subset of AmeriCorps that Clinton began, and they train high schoolers and junior high all over the country with M16s, warrant service, checkpoints, how to report on their parents. This is all public. It's in Road to Tyranny as well. But now they want to expand that to 1 million beginning. And it says to spy. It says a intelligence/military/police force. Now, we're talking 1 million plus punks. 1 million plus punks on power trips having their way with us. I mean, it doesn't get more classical tyranny. This is right out of 1984, which was based on the Soviet system that George Orwell had covered. Actually worked for a time until he figured out it was corrupt. So, I mean, it's the ultimate. It's the royal flush. It is the royal flush of tyranny. You just cannot beat it. It is the creme de la creme of evil. And it is in the Chicago Tribune, gave a speech, and he said he will create a force of youth carrying out security and spying operations larger than all of the military forces. Now, that's already being done. He's just the front man pushing that. But to have them announce it, 1/10 of college grads, now Homeland Security related, ITT technical, other technical schools, about 20%, I looked this up a few months ago, of their teaching is now computers. They've shifted into, quote, law enforcement and security, and they are now hiring the other royal flush of tyranny, and that is aggravated felons and illegal aliens who are aggravated felons. That's their creme de la creme there. They look for people who are felons and foreigners. Just a double tyranny, a double mega tyranny. I mean, hiring felons for the police is hardcore super tyranny. The communist Chinese don't even do that. The Nazis and the communist Russians did, the Bolsheviks, led by the famous bank robber and tortured, of course, Joe Stalin. But to then hire foreigners who are criminals, that is a level never before seen. Only the United States, run by the most hardcore criminals who studied every tyranny. And they said that. They studied every tyranny, and they are trying to perfect a tyranny, the likes of which the world has never seen. And they are doing it. And you heard Richard C. Cook yesterday, was a White House analyst, Treasury Department analyst, NASA analyst, very well-respected historian, saying that that is their plan. They want a purge of the middle class, most of you who serve them mindlessly. They plan to kill you and your family. They are not hiring felons and million man and woman goon corps for nothing. It is going to be just like the communist youth brigades under Mao, under the chairman They are accelerating their program, and it gets worse. They are going to use the National Guard in policing. It's now been announced. Stay with us.
Now, from his Central Texas Command Center, deep behind enemy lines, the information war continues. It's Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Obama calls for national civilian Stasi, armed spies, 1 million to start with, on top of the 2 million plus police. Their auxiliaries are swelling in between the new environmental police, integrated with the regular police forces that have already been federalized, and now with the new Stasi police. We're going to be facing, within 3 years, 8 million enforcers. And they intend for you to revolt once they start squeezing. They are very arrogant, and they know that things are going to then degrade. They will then say, see, there's terrorism, after enough families have had their babies stolen and land taken and, spit on and had their SUV tires slashed by the youth brigades. They're going to beat you up on the street. I mean, it is going to be bad. You think I'm joking? Everything else I told you is happening. They plan to murder you and your family. I can have top White House analysts, CIA commanders on. I can have economists, Nobel Prize winners. I can have all of them on, the father of Reaganomics, all of them who are experts on history, to tell you this is going to happen. You understand? And then it's stated in the John Warner Defense Authorization Act. And it's stated in PDD 51. And why are they going to do it? Because they can. Why in history? 95 times out of 100 do governments end up doing this, because criminals get in control, and they don't just want to rob the bank. They want to tie the secretary up and rape her in the back. Criminals, want to go out and grab a young girl off the road and take her and torture her for days and kill her. It's what they like to do. You figured that out yet? And they know the young people are easily led and will get a taste for the blood, and they're going to give them your blood. I mean, you'd tell the police 10 years ago, I have federal documents, and I'd show them and put them in the film. They're going to take all the high schoolers and turn them into secret police. Ha, ha, ha. And I'd have the cops walk by me at events and checkpoints and say, are the Serb soldiers going to get me, Alex? And start laughing. Are the space aliens going to get me? Ah, ha, ha. Now you tell a cop they're going to have youth brigades, and they say, absolutely, that's good. Everything we were taught was bad. Everything history teaches us is bad. Presidential candidate wants domestic security force as powerful as U.S. military. And even mainstream newspapers compare it to Hitler Youth. Oh, but it can't be Hitler Youth because they're going to have a black front man. That's right, and the black front man is going to run nothing. Just like George Bush. Doesn't matter if it's McCain, and I know you, the audience, most of you know this better than I, but the public still doesn't understand this, that Bush is not going to be blamed for the wars and the tyranny and all of it, and then he's just handing the baton and the relay right over to the next guy, and it just continues on the same path, just a little bit different rhetoric. Yeah, the national no-fly list, the terrorist list with well over 1 million people on it, the criminal databases, the person of interest databases with tens of millions on it, the checkpoints, all of it. Do you hear Obama saying he's going to get rid of Homeland Security? You hear McCain saying that? No, they're going to radically increase it because that's all the banks are going to fund. There are entire colleges converting purely to Homeland Security in the last 6 years. And these people are going to have degrees, and they're not going to just go quietly into the night. They're going to run our lives. And every day the news intensifies. Every day it gets worse and worse. Obama calls for national civilian Stasi. And then I've got this. This is out of NBC5 out of Chicago. Governor on Wednesday signed a new law that will put in place tougher penalties for selling guns to minors. See, this is gun-related. He also announced he's got a new idea to help combat the violence that Chicago is experiencing. He's talking to Illinois State Police, the National Guard, to see if they can help, getting rid of all jurisdictions under federal grants. And then you read the full story, and Mayor Daley says to the governor of Chicago, that is, Mayor Daley of Chicago says to the governor, I haven't seen your plan, but I sign on to it. That's in the piece.